Alright, I wanted to do a quick market review here for you. I don't have a lot to talk about today's market because I didn't trade today. I didn't want to risk my money coming back the first day looking at the markets after the holiday break. But what I did was I did watch the market, and we saw the market just kind of starting off here, bouncing around and coming in and breaking in this long upward push here. Now, when we trade, we're generally trading the first hour of the market, which ended right in here. And so if we were to look at this and look for a trade, this almost moved too fast to actually even give us a setup on this 2-minute chart. But there was a place here that I watched carefully and thought that I probably would have traded this had I been a few days into the market here coming back from the break. But look here at what happened. We have 10 o'clock reports coming out, and I say not to trade reports because of the fluctuation that can happen with news when you trade on news. But sometimes I will trade on news, but it's not trading. It's watching what's happening when that news is released. And with this particular pattern here, we had the market kind of moving up and evening out here, essentially creating a stair step, although it's not a very defined stair step. It pushed up and then kind of went sideways, and that was all leading into the news. When the news came out, it went down, and then it came back up, creating that shadow here. If you don't look at this red candle here, what we saw here, what we saw here was a candle that suggested that the market was going to be going up. So I think placing an order in this area would have been appropriate and something that I probably would have done had I been actually trading live here. What happened though, this next candle reversed and went down far enough to actually take me out at my stop. But the overall move of the market would have been right for what I expected, and it would have gone up quite a significant ways. A few things here. Had I traded that the way that I normally traded that, I probably would have lost a few ticks on that. I think I would have got out before it hit my full stop. Maybe would have re-entered again though, coming up here, which oftentimes I offset my loss. In fact, looking back at my December stats, I only had really 2 weeks of trading and a few days I didn't trade within there. So my stats were kind of weak. We had those 2 weeks of break. And I only had one losing day, although I had more than one loss. I can't remember now how many I was looking at, but most of the time I offset my losses. It's rare that I have more than 2 losing days a month. So anyway, this ran up, and considering this, a lot of people ask, well, is there any way to let your winners run? It would have been nice to be in a trade and let that run, that whole 5, 6, 7 points, however far that went. But oftentimes there's just no way, and not every strategy fits every scenario in the market here. But with our approach, we could have easily taken enough to offset a loss or come out with a little bit of profit off of that big run. You just never know when it's going to run like that. So this strategy doesn't tailor itself to be able to hold on to trades for a very long period of time. It's just a small piece here and there off of high probability setups. The market continued to boy, I don't know why that keeps happening. Continue to flatten out through the rest of the day here, leading into about 1 o'clock. There was a drop here. Nothing really significant that said to me that we could have identified that and gotten in on a trade, because all these previous candles here are very, very small and tight. And I really want to see a better flow before I feel like there's going to be a significant high probability push in my favor. But we continued here, going through, and then the end of the day, we did have some better movement and obviously a little more volume going on. And I kind of liked this setup going long here, where we've got this low, it's kind of like this shallow trend moving up, creates this little stair step here, and then boom, we've got a nice kink on this one. Now, it could have fooled you here because this was providing us a kink entry right here. This candle goes back against us, but hopefully not a full 5 or 6 ticks. I think even though if you had ridden through that, you still would have been profitable holding on to that. But not the best time to trade either. So anyway, that's my thoughts for today. We're going to have the trading room open tomorrow, and I'm looking forward to seeing everyone there. And if you have any questions in the meantime, let me know.